Oh my God, it's barely been 24 hours and we already have some more election integrity questions and some new audits popping up as well. And you really do love to see it. And God, I don't really like to just copy paste topics from the same day over to the next, but when you have information like this breaking every single day, it's tough to not cover it. And I also got to follow up on yesterday's story about the Arizona State Senate, the testimony from the what was his name, Ben Cotton, Ben Cotton there, one of the lead auditors from Cipher Technologies. Yeah, had some sped in the fucking comment section thinking that he's the smartest motherfucker around, and I just wanted to share this with everybody who's going to be watching, because I know that these are some of the most popular takes that I have, at least on the platform for right now. So that's kind of why I do it, because I'd like to get my fucking name out there. That'd be great. Thanks. Anyways, yeah, this fucking half-baked moron left 2 comments because he, I don't know, couldn't be asked to actually watch the entire 15-minute long video, because that'd be too much for him. He had ideas, damn it, and he read the title of the video and he knew exactly what I was going to be talking about. And here are his 2 fun takes. If they were deleted, then nobody would have been able to access them. Doesn't take a genius to figure that out. What was the title of that video? Maricopa County Audit exposes the outright fraud of the media. I said nothing about being accessed. Okay, I said that he was being taken out of context, but yeah, if you want to be a fucking false interpreter, be my guest. And then not long after that, they were still there. You can't stand that you got owned and your cyber ninja losers can't access a simple file. Oh, game's over, guys. I guess we're just going to have to fucking close up shop. And that's all. I got owned. My cyber ninjas got owned. In fact, I am one of the benefactors. I bankrolled that audit that was there. And my guys that were there, man, yeah, they got owned. Thanks, man. You really make some fucking salient points there. Somebody else made a much longer post. I made a couple of little snarky rejoinders to him. And I'm sure he'll read that and probably get a rise out of that and cream in his fucking anime body pillow tonight. So glad I could make your day, kid. But we got some actual follow-up information when it comes to Arizona, okay? And we got some pot shots being taken, and we got some very tactically leftist tactics taking place there as well. And then we also have Georgia hopping on the bandwagon. Who could have seen that coming? And who thought that that would be one of the next shoes to drop in this whole entire thing, right? Yeah, I've been doing this stuff for a little bit too long. Arizona's top election official tells Maricopa County to get new election machines. Of course, Arizona Secretary of State on Thursday warned the state's largest county would, not try to use election machines that would be audited, or she would decertify the equipment. Fucking cry more. Katie Hobbs is fucking pick your hair color out of a crayon box. I have grave concerns regarding the security and integrity, words that I will use in order to elicit a certain response from my impressionable base of these machines, given the claim, or given the chain of custody, a critical security tenet has been compromised, and election officials don't know what was done to the machines while under Cyber Ninja's controls. Well, you guys tried to delete an entire database, but you guys didn't realize that there's still an imprint on the hard drives where everything's actually being stored. And the audit firm's like, yeah, no, we still got it. It's still over here. And they're just like, fuck, we got to make up more jargon. We need to serve another heaping helping of word salad out to whoever would be fucking listening to us. In a letter to Maricopa County officials, yeah, dumb broad. Auditors hired by the Arizona Senate included Cyber Ninjas, my company, right? It's Don Consuelo LLC. Have been reviewing over 2 million ballots cast and 385 tabulators used in the 2020 elections, along with other materials. Yeah, but not checking signatures. Still a little salty on that one. That's kind of a fucking retarded concession, but whatever. Auditors have said they are following strict forensic protocols. Yes, they were beforehand, and then Katie Hobbs forgot that she was actually served those protocols, and then decided that one of her subordinates was going to sue to get those same protocols that they were going to be following in order to shut down and delay the audit for as long as they could, because reasons, I don't know. They got Ben Cotton's statement here. And it's like we don't turn on the system if it's delivered to us in a powered off state. We remove the hard drives, we perform forensic imaging, and write blocks to prevent any changes to those hard drives. Then we produce a bit by bit forensic copy of the particular drive. Sounds like they know what they're doing, but at the same time, oh, that seems so bad. Why wouldn't you just turn on the machines? Why wouldn't you just do that? Well, because there might be fail safes in the machine. So if you just go ahead and take out the hard drives, you just kind of cut out the middleman. I don't know. All they want is the data. They don't give a fuck about the names that are on there. They just want to make sure that everything that was punched into the machine was what the fuck was recorded. And we'll figure that out in about 2 months' time, I suppose, 60 to 90 days, whatever it was at the end of this. Ken Bennett, the former Republican Arizona Secretary of State, who is serving as a liaison for the state Senate for the audit, added that immediately upon receiving the machines on April 21st, the equipment and ballots were placed into locked cages and have been under armed guard for the entire time since. No, but there were news reports from the CNN and the Associated Press and other outlets saying that equipment was being left unmonitored, and that's what I read in my newspaper, and therefore I know it's true. Haha, fact check, Republicans. Suck a dick. We have not had any breaches of the cage where the ballots or the machines are being kept. Yeah, that's what you would say, Ken. But Hobbs continues to bicker. And at the end of the day, her misleading the public, her blatant lies in this situation, have led to suspicious white powder being sent to a GOP Senate president amid Maricopa County audit. Yes, that'd be Karen Fann, the one lady that we can trust on this. She's been very much the face of this audit, along with Kelly Ward, the chairwoman for the Arizona State GOP. Needed to get her title right. They've been the ones making sure that this is going to happen, regardless of Katie Hobbs consistently hurling a wrench into the works. The Arizona Department of Public Safety confirmed it visited Republican State Senate President Karen Fann's office on Wednesday to investigate reports of a suspicious package with an unidentified substance inside. The state's agency spokesman, Sergeant Jimmy Chavez, said DPS responded to the Arizona Senate in response to a suspicious package call. The package was taken to an agency's hazardous materials union before it was submitted to the state crime lab to investigate its contents. Mike Phillipson, a spokesman for the state Senate GOP, told media outlets an assistant to Fann opened a letter that was addressed to her, adding that a small amount of the substance was observed from the mailing. Out of an abundance of caution, he said the assistant contacted the Department of Public Safety, and a hazmat team was alerted. It's not something that happens often. It was very prevalent. Oh God, what was that? Right after 9/11, where you guys remember there was probably that scare. Most of you are old enough, anyways. To remember that, yeah, there were packages. I think they were addressed to Dick Cheney. They were at least at the White House, if I remember correctly. And yeah, that was the big thing for a while. Identified white substance being sent out. And most recently, the only one that I can remember is some fucking goofball from the Toronto area sending a package to the White House addressed to Donald Trump, trying to fucking scare him out of that. But it just ended up being some piss-stinking cat lady with fucking rainbow-colored hair. So you guys, if you get a gender study degree, you can figure out how to address a package. And that's about it. But like I said, we have another state hopping into the ring of the audits, and you love to see it. It was the one that I was anticipating hopping in next, and guess what that is? Georgia, Fulton County to be specific, my dudes. Georgia judge decides to unseal absentee ballots in Fulton County for a review. So they're going to be taking a look at this, okay? Let's see what the hell this good judge is up to. A judge in Georgia on Friday ruled to unseal absentee ballots submitted in the 2020 presidential election. Petitioners in the ongoing case will be able to go to where the ballots are being stored in Fulton County. Henry County Superior Court Judge Brian Amero said in the conclusion of a hearing, Amero plans to issue an order soon that will set forth protocols governing a fresh scanning of the ballots. So is it just going to be a recount? That'll be sus. Which will be done by county workers while petitioners and their experts observe. Okay, once again, if this is just going to be a glorified recount, then who cares? Unless these ballots haven't been run through a recount yet. I don't think Fulton County has. No, Cobb County was, but that's about it. A group of voters filed a petition last year asking for a forensic inspection of mail-in ballots that were sent in for the 2020 election. The petition alleged an abnormal vote increase for people, among other alleged abnormalities. I can't read that. It's a part of the stupid YouTube guidelines, and alleging something that happened as a result of something else happening, resulted in somebody else not having a job somebody else should have, is against the guidelines. And hopefully that doesn't issue a strike. But you know what? That's basically what we have to fucking talk about. Isn't it fun to be on the internet in 2021? You get 50 IQ takes in your comment section, and then you also get the privilege of talking around something that you deeply believe happened. Amero allowed the petitioners in March access to scanned images of the ballots, but attorneys for the petitioners argued in court that the resolution, that 200 DPI? What the fuck? Was too low to perform a proper analysis. The petitioner asked for images at 600 DPI or higher and access to the ballots themselves. Yeah, that'd be literally like trying to parse out the information on a ballot that was recorded for a GIF on a fucking 4K monitor. That is functionally retarded, especially when you had the physical ballots there. David Sawyer, a forensic expert, testified for the petitioners. He said he identified a discrepancy in the number of batches that were received by petitioners and the number that Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger's office listed as having been examined in a risk-limiting audit. That was not so much of an audit as it was just a basic recount. A man who was there, Robert Barnes, attested to as much, so I'm just going with first-hand information. But you know what? I can't quantify it. I'm just going on what a very reliable source has to say. He was there, after all. But speaking of Brad Raffensperger, because we're going to have to wait, like it says here, 4 days in order for the judge to issue what protocols are going to be going on this, because they're going to be scanning the ballots. They're going to have the physical ballots there. They're going to be able to sort of recount them. I don't know if they're going to be doing any kind of matches, but it would be wonderful to see. But any sort of discrepancy that happens, because you remember Raffensperger was one of the biggest, what's the nicest way to put it, cocksuckers, there, we'll go with that one, that was out there in the previous election cycle, not wanting anything to be double checked on, we're doing something just so trivial, and some of my people in my office, they're getting death threats, and they're getting just so much harassment right now because Mr. Trump, you just won't let it go. To provide any receipts for those? No, because you're totally against audits. But guess what, guys? If you're down there in Georgia, you have the opportunity to be voting once again for Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, because he's going to be running for re-election. Oh my God. Dude, I couldn't think of a more failed campaign for re-election than Liz Cheney, but this one right here probably tops that, because nobody in their right fucking mind is going to be voting for this guy. He is going to get primaried like a motherfucker, just like his boss, just like Brian Kemp. For as many good things as he's done lately, he has a very, very, very strong primary challenger coming up in the form of state senator. I think he's a state senator right now, Vernon Jones. The guy's very based dude, very popular within the state of Georgia. And he is a state representative, sorry. But yeah, he's going to be trying to primary out Brian Kemp, and he's offering a full audit if he is in fact elected governor in 2022. Let's take a look here. Former Georgia State Representative Vernon Jones, who's challenging Brian Kemp for the state's top job next year. I think if he hasn't already, he's definitely going to be getting Trump's endorsement on this one. There's no two ways about it. He's a big Trump supporter, this guy. An audit of the 2020 election if he is elected to the role, the pro-Trump former Democrats' position, which comes more than 6 months after the November contest, would blow wide open Republican efforts to investigate claims of the fraud that have been rejected by election officials, including in Georgia, and have seen little success in court. And yeah, Brad Raffensperger's authority in this such situation, and Brian Kemp saying, well, I've ordered a full audit, but I can't make Brad do anything. No, that's actually within your purview as governor. You can just make them do that. And just because that there's going to be another rescanning, perhaps it'll be an audit, perhaps it'll have some type of accountability attached to the recount, but that's kind of all it looks like right now. So it could produce some discrepancies. Every time that these types of recounts have come back, there have been some numbers that haven't matched. It hasn't really meant much, but it's always led to something bigger. And that's what we can hope here, okay? And if Vernon Jones very likely gets the nomination, he's going to be running against Stacey Abrams, who is still banging on this drum that she lost in 2018 to Brian Kemp, and she wants to run again, and she wants to run for president, and nobody likes her because she has the appeal of pancreatic cancer. She's just a fucking disaster, and the only people that actually pay her any lip service is people that just want to enjoy their dinner in peace, and they don't want to be accosted by some wildebeest running through the Golden Corral. But we got to talk about a different state now. Georgia, you're on the right track. You always seemed pretty based, and this is another indication that you guys are heading again in the right direction, and Godspeed to everything happening over in Arizona. Feel free to kick out Katie Hobbs next when she's up for re-election, probably in 2022. Tends to be when all these crooks are going to be up. So like I've always been saying, at least for a very long time, 2022 is going to be very interesting in the primary season leading up to that, which is going to start taking place, gosh, rather quickly, probably in the fall, I'd suppose, is going to get even more interesting. But let's head out west, guys. Let's head out west and then north to that little cesspool out there in the northeast. You know we're talking about Oregon. I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I'm a Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.